I love when graduates of the Jai Institute for Parenting do amazing things. It's just, oh gosh, so cool. So I have a Jai graduate here with us today, Maggie Pouplis. Maggie just wrote a book. I'd love to just hear a little bit about what inspired you to write this book and what you're hoping to change in the world through it.
Well, actually, the inspiration is my son. Everything I've been doing the past year has been my son. But my true fuel, if you want, and inspiration was you guys. And the time I spent in Jai and learning all the things I learned and having Sarah Armour as my mentor and coach. She's an amazing person, full of light. And when I first started with Jai, it was like a mind-blowing experience. I had this feeling we discussed it with Sarah as well. This feeling where I was learning things that I didn't know, but I was like, oh yeah, mm-hmm. And yes, this is yeah, yeah. And then what actually blew my mind was the deep dive. I personally went into the nervous system and the brain. And it was like a whole new world expanding within me and giving me more understanding for my son and for me. I'm a cycle breaker. I think most coaches, this is just like, I think it's my thought. I don't have any data behind that, but I have a sense that most coaches and the people who try to change parenting are people who want to change the way they were raised. And so actually my true inspiration was from you guys, taking so much stuff from the cohort and everything we were learning and the whole platform. And so I've been writing since I was a kid. It's my psychotherapy. It's how I express myself. And then I took a deeper dive into everything after I graduated. And I had this imposter syndrome. It's like, what am I doing? Because it was a career change in a late stage of my life, but it didn't really feel like a career change. It felt like a soul calling, or like I found what I was supposed to do. And so the best way for me to express myself is through writing. And what really blew my mind was when I found out that our brain fully develops at 25, and that was the main concept behind the book. So it's a tiny book of tiny 25 chapters. The title is Tiny Humans, Mighty Emotions, which is this. And it's this how I see children. It's like the tiny little humans with mighty emotions who don't know what to do with them.
I love that you use the word mighty because it doesn't assign, I think we fall into these mindsets where like these are the good emotions and these are the bad emotions, and we're gonna, have reactions when our child is having bad emotions. And I don't know, in my own growth journey, I've just really come to see it all as like the rainbow of our humanity, right?
That's
We
yeah.
all get to have anger. We all get to experience grief. It's actually a really important
Mm.
emotion, right? When we tamp it down, nothing good happens. When we give ourselves more permission to go
Yeah.
all the way into those less than comfortable feelings,
Mm.
that our experience of the more joyful, kind of life affirming feelings expands as well.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just, you just feel comfortable with everything. You get to understand what's going on. And this is what you guys are doing. And that's why I'm so, when I talk about Jai, I'm also always get so excited because I couldn't believe I found a community of people. I used to feel like an alien in this planet, thinking that I always loved children and always had I wanted to protect them. I think it's everything, it was my inner child trying to protect every other child. So meeting you guys and getting into this community of like-minded people who can understand everything that we're discussing here just by saying two or three words. It's like if we can change two or three parents, we've done the work. And yeah, the mighty emotions was exactly coming inspired from everything we've learned at Jai, that we need to sit with everything. And we shouldn't expect our children to not have emotions when we as adults can't even handle our own emotions.
What would you say are some big takeaways that people are gonna get when they sit with your book?
I'm gonna share something that psychotherapist friend of mine said, which to me was like really like it was like a sweet river running through me. It was really nice. She said that as soon as she started reading it, she said, "Wow, so this is a snack bite of what I know, but I as a therapist sometimes forget and need to run through really big books. And I have this guide here right next to me, giving me short and full chapters, tiny but full chapters of knowledge with really like talking to a friend and not like, a big science book giving me a lot of theory. I try to make it as easy as possible for parents mostly, but educators as well, which is another part in my brain going like this now. Educators and therapists like a little tool to remind them, and for therapists and educators to remind them, and for parents to learn that you don't have to be a neuroscientist. You don't have to like know everything.
A doctorate in developmental psychology.
No, you don't have to be a psychologist. You don't have to be anything. You just need to know you, and you need to give permission to your child to just be. So if you just, you know, see your child not the way you want them to be, but the way they are, then you can just have these little books around you. There are wonderful books out there and wonderful people writing. It's like I haven't discovered the wheel, but I think what this book has for me is that it's really a tiny book with mighty knowledge within it,
Yeah.
and very digestible.
I love this analogy that's coming to my mind is like yoga, right? Like there's some people who just want to go to the practice of yoga, and then there's some that want to become yoga instructors, right? And learn the why, right? So like at Jai,
Yeah,
we're like the people who want to be the yoga instructors. And I love that you've created a pathway for people who may not have that calling. They have their own passion, their own
yeah,
direction in life, but can still benefit from the right amount of information to make an impact.
exactly. And I think this is what Jai did to me as well when I because I was thinking about it after I graduated, how passionate I got about everything. It was like it began a spark in me, and I found my ikigai through you guys. It was like the way when you learn about your nervous system, when you learn about your brain, when you understand, and I've been through therapy, but I need to say this, Jai was like therapy on top of therapy. It opened up a lot of things through the first weeks, especially as we were going back. And it was amazing to see that, that inner child is always there, and it will always get a little bit scratchy. Some things will scratch it. But when you get the knowledge, when you have people around you in a community to remind you what's going on, when you know how to repair the things that we've learned, that's why I want to share it with everybody. When you learn this, life gets so much easier. And mainly, you're raising the future. You're creating a new generation, and they're going to create another generation. It sounds romantic, I know.
Things are cliche because they're true.
Exactly, exactly. Notice that there's a crowd of people saying, "Oh, this is a trend, the parenting trend," and I'm like, "It's not a trend."
There's kind of this false equivocation. You know, you talked about people who want to be cycle breakers, who want to parent differently than the way that they were parented. And that was probably rooted in unhealthy conflict, right?
Mhm.
That there was unhealthy conflict and communication strategies in their family ethos. And so the reactive response to wanting to be that change is to avoid conflict at
Exactly.
all costs. And so, yes, that does lead to permissive parenting. That does lead to inconsistent parenting. that does lead to children not knowing where the bumpers are and where there are boundaries and limits for their physical, emotional, and relational safety. And so, I think people put us in that umbrella because we say peaceful
Mm.
parenting,
Yeah.
but it is possible. It's not only possible, like we know it, we see it play out all the time, that you can be the both and, right? You can be a parent who lovingly and compassionately
Exactly. And
holds
respectfully.
and uses nonviolent communication to teach children why, to let them in on our thought process versus what our parents did to us, right? Because I said so.
Yeah, exactly. That's because, one day I have to say this. It's not my son. If my son was hearing this, he would laugh. One day I was mad because we get mad as well. That's why I try to explain to the people I treat as well. We may be coaching you, but we have coaches as well because we lose it sometimes as well. I mean, it's not that we're going to give you a scenario. You're going to have the perfect parenthood journey from now on. There are going to be bumps. But one day I was mad and I was really stressed with work and I was telling him something and he said, why? I said, because, just do it because I said so. And he put his hands like this, like, we don't say just because in our family. And I was like, go, thank you, Jai. Thank you, Jai, for helping me raise this whole wild thing. Because it was like, I was happy at that point. I looked at him and said, damn, you're right. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm mad. I'm stressed. And he laughed.
Yeah. Oh,
So actually, I can see this in my own house. And that's why I'm so passionate about it because I can see him growing now.
yeah.
And I'm so happy for that.
Yeah.
And my inner child as well. I'm so happy. It was like, hooray. It's like,
Yeah, they
so,
are our growth partners. We grow,
yeah,
they grow, and we get to grow together. And I have so many similar stories, Maggie. My goodness. But
oh,
what
sure.
I love is that there's such a culture that's been developed over the years where we can, call each other out in loving ways. We can speak when we see, kids love to point out our hypocrisy.
Yeah, yes, they do. It's their favorite game.
Be okay, right? To be open, even though I am the leader, I am, there is a hierarchy from parent to child, but as a conscious leader, to be open to their feedback, to be willing to hear what they have to say, and to be like, you know what, you're right.
Yeah, you
That
but
wasn't
you
okay.
yeah, it's okay and it's also I think it gives you a sense of comfort as a mother or a father, as a parent, as a person to say to yourself that it's okay. I messed up. It's okay. It takes the load off of you. And
Right.
it makes it all so much easier. And like I like to say, we say in boarding this, connecting means respecting them actually.
Yeah.
Respecting this tiny humans that they're not just I hate it when they say, oh, he can't understand, he's too young. Well, no, he can he can understand
You're
everything.
so smart.
He or she can. Yeah, so yeah, to me, I think Jai, and I'm saying this again and again because I love you guys, this is,
Oh my God.
you were like and I'm so expressive and all you guys are so expressive and I found my belonging within the Jai community, which was so soul soothing to me. Uh, but you guys have created this thing. You created this, and it's expanding, and we're like
We
everywhere now.
takes a village, I mean, we have such an amazing organization. I feel so blessed every day to get to work with these amazing women who are as passionate about this body of work as I am and bring their unique strengths.
This is what we get taught as well, that it's not all about your studies or what your diplomas are or what your profession was, or it's about, I think some of us have the calling within us since the beginning, and it's just you need to have the right timing, and your life needs to get you to that point of your ikigai. um but still, I also made a lot of friends, which was to me was amazing. I mean, one of the girls who was within our cohort came to Greece, and we met, and it was like we were best friends since forever. We spent 3 days together. We had fun, and that's what we were saying. We're saying we're in different parts of the world, but we're trying to do the same thing. And if we can touch one person in my country, and you can touch one person in your country, we've done it, you
Yeah,
know?
we can put our head on the pillow knowing we made a difference.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, Maggie, well, all of us here at Jai are just cheering you on. We are so supportive of
Thank you so
your new
much.
book and everything, all the bold moves that you made. Like, you're doing it. Where can people find your book, Maggie?
Amazon.com and Amazon around the world. And then soon they will be able to find it for Europe and Greece on our eShop.
Amazing. So it's Tiny Humans, Mighty
Mighty
Emotion.
emotions.
Go support Maggie and check it out, Maggie. We are, yeah, we're just going to be here watching you shine.
Well, thank you so much.
You're
You're always gonna be, my start and my community and my village.
welcome.
So thank you for this and for all the support.
You're welcome.